Good evening, everyone. My name is Amy Smith, and I'm going to present my executive summary on my research topic, the impact of organizational culture on change. I have my PowerPoint pulled up here, and I'll just go through page by page with everyone. So I thought I would start by defining culture. DAF defines culture as an organization's set of values, norms, guiding beliefs, and understandings that are shared by each member of the organization. As far as open systems, the organization is made up of inputs, outputs, and processes. The culture, along with the organization, is partially what determines the quality of each, along with the structure and change. So you can see how culture really has a big effect on how an organization adapts to change and vice versa. And in order to be able to be an effective organization, the culture should align with strategy and support change when necessary. So for my research, I decided to take a look at strong cultures in organizations versus weak cultures. It's a common belief that a strong culture is associated with an organization that has a long tenured history. Budweiser, LL Bean, these are all companies that we can think of that have been around for as long as any of us can remember. LL Bean was started in 1912, Budweiser in 1876. We would assume that these organizations have a strong culture because they've been together for so long. Inversely, we could assume that an organization that's newer, that's just starting out, would have a weak culture. A newer company could be considered Amazon. They've only been around since 1994, and Zappos has only been around since 1999. But that's not necessarily always the case, as I found through several examples of researching the strength of a culture in an organization. Every organization is subject to their culture changing during change, and sometimes it can shift, sometimes it can be a massive shattering of the culture. But what I did find is that the strength of the culture prior to the change can be a gauge for how successful the evolution of the company is. I did stumble across a case study, and the subject was Covenant University. Covenant University is actually in Nigeria, and they had constant problems. They were plagued by a business environment that lacked infrastructure. They had unfavorable government policies, and they dealt with a high inflation rate. But despite all of those challenges in their external environment, they experienced unprecedented growth and development over the course of 12 years. So much growth that at the time of the study, the university was #1 in Nigeria and in West Africa as a whole. So through the study, the researchers found that the success of the organization was ultimately a result of the core values that make up the culture of the university. The core values at Covenant were spirituality, possibility, mentality, capacity building, integrity, responsibility, diligence, and sacrifice. So the researchers concluded that it is imperative that managers understand the culture of an organization, that the leaders are clear on what culture they're trying to achieve, and that it be well implemented. The thing that Covenant did a little differently is that they required 100% buy-in from not only their employees, but also from the students. There has to be an alignment between that culture and the mission. Additionally, I found that since culture affects the ability to successfully navigate through a change, it can also be used as a tool for that change. As we all know, change is needed for many reasons. It could be a change in executive leadership. changes based on external factors from the external environment, like changes in policy or government regulations, a need for increased profitability, or just for general effectiveness. So I found another article by Matt Hansen, and he proposed that culture, along with leadership and communication, form the basis for cultivating change. He also determined from his research that the reasoning behind an emphasis of understanding organizational culture relative to change is that culture provides an avenue for both stability by reinforcing values and consistency, as well as adaptability by providing coping strategies. The adaptability is really what's key in navigating through this change. Hansen went on to support his realization in 3 ways. First, there's increasing evidence that in the case of mergers and acquisitions, incompatible cultures are the largest cause of inferior performance. I personally have been through several acquisitions, and when you bring people together from 2 or more different organizations, there's usually some sort of culture clash. Everybody does things differently. The 2 organizations have different missions, visions, and values, so it's finding that common ground. Secondly, Hansen noted that it's commonly recognized to be successful, an organization needs a culture that supports their business strategy, as I found from my research at Covenant University. And lastly, the need to understand and manage culture is becoming more important because of the frequency of mergers and acquisitions due to consolidation, downsizing, and other reasons. These changes can conflict with previous held beliefs, specifically in the mergers and acquisitions, shifting the culture. For my organizational development tools, the favorite that I looked at was large group interventions, also known as LGIs. There were 2 different kinds that I researched. The first was search conference methodology. It was developed by Fred and Marilyn Emery. A search conference is a future-oriented, face-to-face participative style intervention held over 2 to 3 days. It's typically 15 to 20 people. There's a facilitator who enables the sharing of values and different viewpoints while searching for common ground. It's useful for setting new policies, directions, and strategies in any sector, and often used for developing or reforming organizations or industries. But what I liked more was large-scale integrative process. This is another LGI, credited to Danye Miller Tyson Associates. So this is different from search conference in that it brings the entire system of stakeholders to the table. This isn't just a group of 15 or 20 leaders from different divisions in an organization. It is everybody in the organization. It allows every stakeholder to have buy-in. Through interaction, they can offer opinions, ask questions, and contribute to the change process. Overall, LGIs have a great effect on overall change. It's shown that when applied correctly, key stakeholders feel more empowered and are more likely to accept the change. In reflection, I've taken several organizational development classes here at SLU, and I don't know why it's taken me until now to make the connection, but as I was writing my reflection and thinking over my paper and the things that we've learned in these 8 weeks, the comparison that I was able to make was between an organization and a family. And looking at it from a personal perspective, nobody ever expects change. But as I found, the culture and the strength of that culture and how deeply it's embedded in the organization makes all the difference. So if you take a look at your family, unexpected things come up. It might be an unexpected child. It might be loss of a job. But as a family, as long as you share the same common values and goals and vision and mission and have that adaptability that's required, the change is a little more manageable. I also realized how much large group interventions can be used in nearly any setting and modified to fit nearly any situation. This doesn't just have to be something for 10 or 15 executives to sit around a table. It can be an entire organization. It can be just a leader and their team of 2 people. But it's basically just about getting that buy-in, making people believe that they're empowered and that they have a voice. And again, just understand the culture of the organization and ensuring of that buy-in of that culture. That's what's key to every level of leadership to guide effective change. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and good luck this week. Have a great night.